start the show.
Your weekend scoop, it's Lady Roll. Hot topics rolling in, the stories you need. From breaking news flashes to celebrity tea. With a smile and the truth, you'll always know what's buzzing today with Lady Roll. Go! The Saturday morning scoop, the Saturday morning scoop. Wake up the week and let's gather the group. The Saturday morning scoop, the Saturday morning scoop with Lady Roll. Bringing it all to you. Start your Saturday right with Lady Roll Insight. Start your Saturday bright with Lady Roll Insight. With Lady Roll Insight. The Saturday morning scoop, the Saturday morning scoop. Wake up the week and let's gather the group. The Saturday morning scoop, the Saturday morning scoop with Lady Roll. Bringing it all to you. Start your Saturday bright with Lady Roll Insight. With Lady Roll Insight.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the live, Kashara. Oh, and whoever else is in the bushes. Good morning, Alicia. Sorry, you guys, I'm running late. I kept a baby last night and I'm on his schedule and he's not on my schedule. So we had to do what he wanted to do. Good morning, Living for Me. Good morning. I hope you guys are feeling great, ready to get this day started. Kashara's Kitchen, Alicia, and Living for Me. We are going to get going because it's Saturday. Got a lot of stuff going on. Hey, good morning, Lucy. Got a lot of stuff going on. Well, I don't have a lot of stuff going on. Of course, I'm babysitting. To this evening, I'm going to do a walk with my coworkers at 6:30. Who wants to do a walk late in the evening? But I didn't organize it. I'm just going to be there to do my part, and that's walk. So let me go ahead and do my disclaimer, fair use disclaimer. Some material in this video is used under U.S. Copyright Fair Use Action 107 for purposes such as commentary, news, criticism. Wait a minute. For purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. I started looking somewhere else and child, I started reading. I don't know what I was reading. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you know someone, tell someone about the channel. All views expressed in this live are alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Please don't take nothing I say to heart, to serious, because baby, I just be up here talking. That's it. We just up here having us a good time for a little time. So don't go out and get mad at nobody else because of what I said, because I just be saying stuff. I just talk. Not really. I really mean what I say. Oh my goodness. Let's get started with the live today. I got some good things I have found for us this week that by scrolling through the publications. The first thing we're going to talk about was something I kind of found a little weird that happened in Detroit. Well, it happened in Michigan. I'm not going to put that on Detroit. It could have been a little town outside the outskirts of Detroit. I'm not sure. A crossing guard was found with a 13-year-old. We're going to talk about that. The second thing I found was a gentleman by the name of Big Marv's Kicks. He is a influencer on Instagram and TikTok, but he was searched at the airport, and I found it kind of odd. But we're going to look at that. The third thing we're going to do, we're going to look at Plies. He had a message, dear politician folks. Y'all know Plies is from Florida. You know, they say what they mean. We're going to talk about New York Fashion Week. It is going on currently. It started on the 11th, which was, I believe, yesterday, and is going on to the 16th. We're going to also talk about remembering 9/11 and what the U.S. Department of Justice did for that. We're going to talk about a nurse by the name of Joyce Grayson, who was murdered in 2003, and what happened. And to me, this story kind of hit home because, as many of you know, I am in the healthcare profession, and it just kind of hit home because I do the same job she does, pretty much. We're going to talk about the assassin of Charlie Kirk's and how it affects us as African Americans. Let's get started. Again, good morning, bad girl Riri. Again, everything that I will be saying is my opinion. It's nobody else's opinion. It's mine. It's only mine. It's not yours. It's mine. And I don't want anybody to get upset about my opinion. Okay. And if when I say I welcome all opinions, put your opinion in the chat. Let's talk about it. And let's see, what everybody else thinks, because my opinion isn't always right. Other people's opinions can be right, and I'm not too big to say that I'm wrong. So let's get started. Again, we're going to talk about those things that I talked about at the beginning. And everything, again, is in my opinion. Please don't get upset or take it in this personal. Good morning, bad girl Riri. Y'all, let's go. Where we're going to start at? Let's start with something sober, but also good. Let's remember 9/11. We'll start out with something really simple. 9/11. Remember 9/11. We're going to send this shout out to the National Archives, which is a Washington, D.C. based website. It is actually connected, I believe, to the United States of America's website system. It just shows a picture of the World Trade Centers as they were hit, the Twin Towers as well as they were struck. The National Archives safeguards many records related to September 11, 2021 attack on the United States, including those of the 9/11 Commission and the 9/11 Federal Aviation Administration records, and the records of the George W. Bush Presidential Library. Most of us remember where we were and how life changed that day. As an agency with facilities in Washington, D.C., New York, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and California, the immediacy of the events felt that much closer to our homes and workspaces. And we all, I guess, remember what happened on 9/11. It was something that was, you know what, bad girl Riri? I didn't either. And that's why I thought definitely needed to at least say something today. Let me pull up something too. It was an African American girl who was pulled from the rubbish. I think she was under the rubbish for like 27 hours. And she is still alive today. Let's talk about her. We're going to go to the root. Let me come back so I can bring you guys over there with me. Live for me, you didn't either, because they were too focused on that Junior Hiller. Alicia said she was saying the same thing. I said the same thing, but I didn't want to be out here being loud and wrong. I do know that the president and Melania did do something, because, of course, I look at the DC websites. So I did see that. But good morning, Queen Script. But I didn't see other people, like normally it's on the front page of the paper. You see it, people putting it on social media. I didn't see any of that this year. It was a lot. 9/11 was way different this year than it has been in years past. And this was, I believe, the 24th year. Well, let's talk about the African-American lady who was the only lady. She was the last survivor that was pulled from the rubbish. This Black woman was the last survivor of the Twin Towers on 9/11, trapped for 27 hours. Trapped for 27 hours under the rubble of the North Tower. Janelle Guzman McMillan, because she was just Guzman, so apparently she's either gotten married or taken another name on, is known as the last person pulled alive from 9/11. And this is a picture of her, beautiful lady. September 11 changed the country as we know it in an instant. On that morning, 2 planes struck the Twin Towers, and the search for survivors began. Firefighters and rescue crews dug through the wreckage in search of survivors. Janelle Guzman McMillan was the last one found alive among the rubble, and her story is a reminder of both tragedy and resilience following the attack. She was 30 years old at the time, working as an administrative assistant on the 64th floor of the North Tower for the Port Authority when the building shook from the impact of the second plane. She and her coworkers raced to the stairwell to escape. Guzman McMillan, who tightly held hands with her friend, Rosa, had lost her group on the way down the stairwell and was left alone in the pitch black. When we searched the land, when we searched the landing on the 13th floor, I let go of Rosa's hand. Well, I'm sorry. When we reached the landing on the 13th floor, I let go of Rosa's hand to yank off my heels. As I did, there was another loud explosion. The force of it knocked us backwards. We heard a rumbling noise that grew louder and louder. Suddenly, everything went dark. Dozen McMillan explained, per All That's Interesting. Apparently, that's who she did this interview with. At 10:28 a.m., Guzman McMillan was trapped under the rubble of the North Tower. Her face was burning. Her right leg had been crushed. Her head was reportedly pinned against two concrete pillars. The only body part she could move was her left arm. And just as she was beginning to give up hope, she prayed and thought of her daughter. I was thinking, I'm going to die. I knew I wasn't going to get out. I'm preparing my life. I was preparing myself to die, she expressed per the outlet. I decided to pray. I just knew that I wanted to live because I wanted to see my daughter, Kimberly. She was 12 at that time. I was just begging and praying, just asking God to show me a miracle. After the grueling 27 hours on September 12th, she heard someone calling out to her and felt a hand grab hers. She recalled the man who rescued her, saying, "My name is Paul. Just hang on. They're going to get you out of here." Doctors considered amputating her leg. However, multiple surgeries saved it. Guzman McMillan walked away with her life and a permanent limp per People magazine. I added magazine, just says People. Um, Her story has since been featured on Hulu and the ABC's new special 20 Years Later, The Women of 9/11, and in National Geographic's 9/11, One Day in America series. She also shared the story of being pulled from ground zero and the richness of life after tragedy in her 2011 book, Angel in the Rubble: How I Survived for 27 Hours Under the World Trade Center Debris. As a testament of her bravery, Guzman McMillan didn't run away in fear. Today, she still lives and works in the heart of New York City as a supervisor for the Port Authority in LaGuardia Airport, per North Cannon, which is another news outlet. A well-known fighter and survivor, she's also taken on the role of motivational speaker. Honestly, I think that doing the anniversary every year, it brings a lot of comfort and peace to families. It's something that'll never go away, and it shouldn't. Guzman McMillan told Robin Roberts during her ABC special. I thought that was befitting since I didn't see anything um, regarding 911. I thought that would be great just to share. So we've talked about that, the remembering 911. We do remember those who lost their lives to a senseless tragedy. It was senseless, and I'm sure every single one of us can remember where they were. I actually have a newspaper article, um, actually the front page of the paper. I actually have it in a clear bag somewhere, packed away in all of my junk, probably out in the storage house, but it's packed away, sealed, and it's the front page of the paper about 9/11. I can remember had woke up that morning. My husband was going to work, and he called me and said, "Cut the TV on," and I was getting the children ready to go to school. And I remember just sitting there going, "Oh my God," because he went to work early, and normally we cut the TV on in the morning. We'll get ready on the news just so I could hear what's going on with the traffic and everything. But yeah, that was something that I won't forget. I was scared to go to work, to be honest with you, because of where I work. We didn't know what was going on in the world. But thanks be unto God, we made it. Amen. Amen. Whew. Okay, let's talk about this crazy man in Detroit. Hold on one second. I remember the last covered in the dust who passed years later. Yes, yes, yes. And it's so strange. Yeah, it was refreshing to hear. Queen Script. I just came in late to work from dropping off cupcake. Oh, happy birthday to the baby! Happy 7th birthday. I knew it was an attack. Lived there and worked down there for you. Oh my God, Queen Script, you were in that area. Oh my goodness. Queen Script, what was it like for you since you were in New York during 9/11? Was it as scary for you as it may have been for those of us who live, in other cities, other states? Because like I said, I was afraid myself because I didn't know, exactly what was going on. None of us really knew what was going on. That was hit. That was on 9/11. Okay, on his birthday. Okay, so that's what you're okay. You're talking about your own son. You were dropping off cupcakes, and oh my goodness, did you feel the rubble of the shake? I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Yeah. Oh Jesus, I'm so glad you guys. I'm so glad that there wasn't any more catastrophic incidents on that day that were any worse in New York because they knew that New York is such a melting pot that they could get a lot of people. And that's why they chose New York City. I was working at Holiday Inn Express. See, it's when the calls started coming in. Oh my God, it was terrible. Exactly. No, I was in Georgia and my grandma and family was all okay. Okay. Good morning, lady. Hey, good morning, you got to be kidding me. Thanks for joining. We are having a blessed Saturday. I am having a blessed Saturday. I knew the first plane was not a mistake. You know what? I didn't, for some reason, when that first plane hit, I was thinking, man, why would, that was weird. Why did they go up higher? And that's when I realized this was intentional because the second plane was going into DC at the time, I believe. It was just weird. It was, yeah. Yeah. See, I didn't think that way. I automatically thought, man, but I was quite young at that age too, in that year. So, when you're young, you don't automatically think the worst. I was kind of thinking maybe it's something else going on. My mom's best friend's brother was at the Pentagon, so they found his foot. Oh my God. Mm-mm. No planes. Oh, so that's how you knew, because no planes fly over Manhattan. Wow. And see, on the outside looking in, I wouldn't know that because I don't keep up with the airspace there. I keep up with what's going on around here. The other day, I was driving down the freeway and I saw Southwest has a hub here. And I was like, that plane is a little low for Southwest because you could tell he just taken off. But I guess he hadn't been cleared to ascend because he hovered low for a while and then he started going up. So yeah, wow. And I was like, I was on the phone. I was like, maybe I should turn around and not get on the freeway because he was going over the freeway. And I thought maybe I should just exit because I didn't know what was going on. I was at work trying to contact my family members that still live there. See, it affected everybody in different ways. New York City and all islands. Okay. I didn't know that. Now I know. So you hit LaGuardia and you hit those other those airways, but they don't actually fly over New York City. So I guess New York City airspace is probably more for helicopters and so on and so forth. I may be wrong, but I just know that we have certain areas that are pretty much just for helicopters, downtown areas. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Let's go to Big Mavs, let's say Big Marv's, Kicks. And let's talk about him real quick. Let's see, what did she say? Not at all, only have, okay, so yeah. See, we have airspaces like that. One of my worst experiences was stopping at Ground Zero when I visited New York subway. We had no idea where we were, but this very eerie feeling came over me and made me look up, and I saw the barricades and stuff. Oh, Bad Girl Riri. You know what? I have heard people talk about the eerie feeling that they get when being down there at Ground Zero and how it feels to be there. And it's unfortunate that any of that happened, but we do remember the lives that were lost on 9/11, and we give homage to them and what they went through, because actually that was it was horrifying, and for the family members that were left behind, to remember the children that were left behind, who we have lost mothers, fathers, loved ones, for sure. Let's talk about, like I said, Big Marv's kicks. I saw this and I thought it was super interesting. I don't want to move forward till we get everybody's talking points out of the way. Girl, I was back in New York City after the rebuild. It hurts because the area is such a huge part of growing up. I can only imagine, because you have two large towers that are now gone, right? And I'm sure the rubbish was really bad, because they didn't take it away immediately. They combed through that rubbish for a while. So I'm not sure how long it actually sat on the ground before they actually began to rebuild. But I can only imagine what it was like. I can really only imagine what it was like. Let's go here and let's look at what he's chit-chatting about. Is this the one? I want to go to his, was it on his TikTok? No, it's not on here. Let me go. I think on his Instagram. Yeah, it was on his Instagram. Let's share the Instagram story.
You sniff this bag too? Make sure you sniff this book bag too, brother. Make sure you sniff it all.
See if I can start it over. Come out of it and go back.
This is random, like you just pick me out at random, just bring all my stuff out, or
That's what I'm trying to be discreet about it. We just talk to people about the trash.
I know, but like,
It's a sneaker
did you sniff this bag too? Make sure you sniff this book bag too, brother. Make sure you sniff it all.
I'm sorry, I was talking to him. What's up?
You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get everything sniffed and
Okay, if I
everything.
take a look at it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, she just sniffs back just because that's what she do.
Okay.
You put a bag in front of her.
I'm just confused. Like, why is he?
I didn't even say talk to him.
Y'all not together?
What's that?
Y'all not together?
Yeah, he's the one who was talking to you, right?
Oh yeah.
Let me give a question. Give me a second.
You find anything illegal, boss?
No, let me ask you a couple questions. So you're heading out there. Where are you staying at when you get out there, man?
I haven't got a hotel yet, but
Oh, yeah.
here you go. Hold on.
Going out for sneakers.
Yeah, I'll show you my page, brother.
Is that what you do, sneakers?
Yep, that's me right there, brother. I cash
Oh,
out.
nice.
I cash out shoes. It's either to pay or cash.
Yeah.
Also,
I've
man,
seen
if you
it.
want to see,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can show you my receipt from my email
Oh, that's
too.
cool. You got any photos of large amounts of U.S. currency or any kind of illegal narcotics, including marijuana, on your phone?
Nah, I got my prescription.
Marijuana prescription?
No, not that. I got prescription.
No, I'm illegal narcotics.
Nah. You can check my phone.
You okay? You just open up your photo roll and then we'll
Yeah,
just open up like your photo app and then.
there you go, boss. It's my son and everything in there. So you sure this is just random?
Yep, it's just random. You ever been in trouble before?
No. You can check my background too if you need my license, my passport. Here's my passport too, brother. If you want to look at my passport, man.
Appreciate your cooperation, man. Have a great day.
All right.
Thank you.
So this is just. So I'm good. I ain't gonna nothing when I get to LA, man. I'm not gonna have nothing.
Listen, man. Listen. Anytime we have people.
I'm just saying, man. He can.
Sunglasses for your drink.
It's crazy out there.
Appreciate it.
We talk to you. You're honest with us about everything. We're good to go, man.
All right.
Part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, you too, brother. You sure you don't need to stiff my bags and then you good? All right, man. Y'all okay.
Y'all, wasn't that the weirdest thing? That was the weirdest thing. And he talked way too much. The airport security came up to him. His name is Big Marv. kicks. He redoes shoes and sells them. So he only takes cash, or I guess you can pay by other means. But a lot of people that sell products only take cash, and they take cash because people have learned to manipulate the system. If I pay you this for these shoes, then I can go back to Cash App and say, oh, I was cheated. I never got the shoes. People do that. Just like they do that crap with DoorDash and stiff those people from their food. So he had, I don't know how much cash he had on him because they did not explain that. He went through security, through TSA, and then security met him at the gate and searched him again. They sniffed his bags. They went through his suitcase again. And then when he opened up his phone, he was showing them, his kicks. And then the man says, do you mind me going through your photo roll? And he goes, yeah, I don't mind. Those are pictures of my kids. And you're just letting this man go, just violate your rights. Just violate your rights. So I put on his page, you need to go, you need to get a hold of an attorney. And because all your rights are violated. But he sat there and let him do it. But y'all be aware of what rights you have. Of course, none of us want to be on a do not fly list, but no one has the right to violate your person. They don't have the right to go through your bags in America when you've done nothing wrong. You have to have probable cause, and all those things. You just can't scroll through someone's phone. That's your phone, right? So they're scrolling through your phone. They're going through your personal information. He asked him questions that should not have been asked of anyone. The gentleman hadn't done anything wrong. And then he said, this is just random, right? Did that seem random to y'all? I just want to know. If it seemed, let me know if I'm wrong. But it didn't seem random to me. I thought it was pretty weird myself. Let's see what y'all chit-chatting about. Thanks for coming in, Michelle. Enjoy the beauty shop, girl. I always enjoy my beauty shop visits. My mom worked a few blocks from there, and her friends said they saw the plane and went home. They knew. Wow. Good morning, Butterfly. Thanks for coming in, modding up. I appreciate it. Everybody speaking of Butterfly. Yeah, so we should say, hey. We wouldn't be agreeing to show you or do exactly. And this is an African American gentleman. I can show you his page. His name is Big Big Marv Barv Kicks Kick on Instagram and TikTok. And I didn't find this video on TikTok, but he does have it on his Instagram page. And I thought that was super weird for the security to want to go through all of his stuff. And then the agent that was waiting on him to get on the plane seemed very irritated because he's sitting there like, okay, we got to get this plane off the gate. But to search someone, I thought that was crazy. Okay, Michelle. Let's talk about Fashion Week. I don't know how many of you guys pay attention. All that. I don't want to move this. I got stuff set up and it's starting to play when I touch on stuff. But let's talk about New York Fashion Week. I'm trying to remember where I have it sitting at, but we'll find it. Let's see. I don't know where it is, and I know it's one of these Instagram. There it is. I found it. So New York Fashion Week is going on. I love fashion too. New York Fashion Week is going on.
The American people is supposed to understand.
I want y'all to stop. I want you to stop messing with my stuff, man. Let me get the right one up, you guys. Give me a minute. It is determined to show that one. Okay, New York Fashion Week is going on this week. New York Fashion Week, like I said, is from September the 11th through the 16th. And New York Fashion Week is really big. It's by invitation only. Yes. It is by invitation only. And so I pulled up some of the looks from New York Fashion Week. I think this, let me type. I had actually pulled up who actually was there these past few days. And I guess I didn't put that one on the screen, but we can go to that page and I can share it. So on today, because it does tell me who's there. On today, there will be Bugatti Michael Kors collection at 11 o'clock today. Norma Camaldi, Lafayette 148, Kate Barton, La Incitor, Simcala, I believe is how you pronounce that, Simcata, Love Shack Fancy, Grace Ling, and Kalinda Strata. Those will be the people that will be on stage today. But let's look at some of the looks that actually they've shown this so far in Fashion Week this week. They're just showing some of the people who are there because, you know, it's the who's who or who's that actually go to Fashion Week. I love that look. I love that look for some reason. I don't know why, but I like it. I don't like the big guy looks. But if you're into fashion, Fashion Week is always great. It's always a good time. Y'all know who this is? Your girls. Yes. So if you love fashion, scroll on over there to Fashion Week. You see who was there, Usher, and our favorite over Oprah Winfrey. Some big names at Fashion Week. So I guess Usher, he must have modeled for Ralph Lauren, but beautiful, beautiful time looks like they're having there in New York. You said Cardi and her daughter, they did look cute. I saw their pictures. They look really beautiful. You said, I'm back, hubby. Wanted to barbecue today, so straighten up my kitchen, organizer for my size. I'll be in. Okay, thanks for even being in. You said Drea and baby daddy was caught fighting last night. Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Are you serious? I'm going to have to look that up. But yeah, Fashion Week is always like a good time for those who go. I always enjoy looking at what's on display, the new outfits. I don't like a lot of the things that they show, but I will say I enjoy looking at Michael Kors collection. I love to look at the Ralph Lauren collection. I always look at the Ralph Lauren collection. A couple of other collections I look at. I'm beginning to get more into labels, or labels that you wouldn't think are so popular, smaller labels. Wow Dress is one of my favorite. I'm sorry, not Wow. Who Dress is one of my favorite lines of fashion. I actually went to their location in Atlanta, inside of one of those big floors. I think I was on the 100 and so floor. I don't remember what floor I was on, but I was way up high. And I actually got to go in the showroom and watch their modeling. And I really liked their line because I had bought a couple of their outfits, and actually I have a license to sell, but I have not done any of that. But that may be what I do when I retire, is open up a small boutique. Oh, so you saw it too, Alicia. I missed it. I didn't see it. It lights up the city. Too bad they're no longer having the fashion district. Yeah, that is unfortunate, because we used to go to New York when I was younger. I went with my mom to the fashion district. We came back with all kinds of clothes. My mom owned a beauty shop, like I told you, purses, and to resell. Butterfly, the baby. Who is a baby daddy? You say, yep. Who is a baby daddy? She ain't got no business with that teenager anyway. Exactly. But child, honey, y'all go check out New York Fashion Week. It's always a good thing to see, a good time to see. Good. You can see the who's, see the fashions that are coming out. And the thing is, you can see the fashions that are coming out. Sometimes say, oh, I got this, I got that. And you can put it together and make your own fashion. If you ever see Butterfly when she's out, Butterfly actually can put together an ensemble. So, honey, I was thinking about maybe I need to be calling her to help me get some fashions together for my next trip, because I'm going somewhere really fabulous and I want to look the place when I go. So I might need to be calling Butterfly. You say, it's shopping Oh yeah, shopping then was because I tell you, you could get stuff for a little bit of nothing down there. She is gross. Oh, she don't. You do, Butterfly. You have a keen eye for fashion. You really, really do. Now I have a keen eye for shoes. I love now. I'm that girl that got the shoes. I buy the shoes and I get the outfit. And I've been having a pair of camo heels in my closet for about a year. And I just bought an outfit to go with it. Baby, I can't wait to wear those shoes. He's in the NBA. I forgot his name at Queen Script. We're gonna look up his name, right? Do a quick live and be like, what this look like at Butterfly, right? Because when I tell you Butterfly she's a woman of many facets, a lot she does not explore. I don't know why, and I keep trying to encourage her to do it, but Butterfly can put together an outfit. I'm telling you, even not even trying. I think she does it effortlessly. If you see her in the morning, sometimes when she down there getting her coffee, baby, she be looking. Oh, like that is cute. I would have never thought to put that with that. Have any of y'all ever done that, looking at her in the morning time? I'm like, girl, why are you dressed up going to get some coffee? I would never think sometimes to put some of the things that she's coordinated together, and it looks really good. She has a really keen eye for outfits. She really does. Jalen Green, that's his name. And Orlando is the other baby girl. Bad girl. Not the pappy. It's the cradle baby. And then Orlando. Ooh, honey. Yes. Yeah, Butterfly has style. And I really wish we could get her on here to just put together some outfits and maybe do a pre-recorded live just showing us how to coordinate some stuff, because she can put together some stuff. I'm telling you, if you ever go on her page and look at her live, she'll jump in front of the camera. Now, you know she don't like to be on camera, but she will jump in front of the camera and she'll have on some cute stuff, some really cute pieces. And she always got a cute bag to match. She has very good taste in clothes. So Butterfly gonna be our New York Fashion Week in her city, wherever we are in our cities. So we're gonna watch her show us some outfits. And I'm telling you, if Butterfly markets herself, the promos are coming, baby. She sure does, and I love it. Me too, because when I tell you she can put some stuff together, Yeah, Dre and Brittany, I don't know what Brittany, she just out here wandering aimlessly around the world trying to figure out life. And all we can do is pray for her. Let's go over here and look at Plies, y'all. Now, you know, Plies likes to use a lot of explicits, but I like Plies. I really enjoy his commentary, and I probably watch everything he says every day. That would be so cool, because Butterfly, she is definitely that girl. I love it. Exactly. Look, all of us agree. Butterfly, do you hear us? We all agree. So you're going to have to go over there and do what you do. Let's look at Plies real quick, and we're going to move on.
You call each other communists, a liar, a scumbag, all of these things. But then the American people are supposed to understand this is just theater. We just bullshitting. We don't really mean none of this. And I've said it a million times. This shit is one big game to y'all. It's a game. You say whatever to push your agenda. You say whatever to rile your people up. You say whatever. You push conspiracy theories that you know is a fucking lie. You say shit that you know is misinformation. You are willing to do whatever you need to do to push an agenda, to gain power, go make millions of dollars, create a big following, and at the end of all of it, the American people is supposed to know you just bullshit. We don't mean all this shit. This shit is a game to y'all, but it's real life with real consequences to most Americans. It's real life consequences. But to y'all, this shit is one big game. And the American people is supposed to know we're just bullshit. I get to tell you, if you vote for me, I'm gonna end the war in 24 hours. And then you vote for them, and then they don't end the war. You say, that was just hyperbole.
So, Plies, he did that, and he actually named it. They're political folks and politicians. And he was saying that, to them it's one big game, but it's not a game. This is our lives, right? It's just theater and smoke, but this is our lives, and you're playing with our lives. And I appreciate him for what he said. If you want to hear it again, that was his Instagram post, I believe 2 days ago. But I thought it was worth sharing with my the people who follow me, because it was good. I really enjoyed listening to that. Plus, I say a lot of stuff, but I believe that one was worth the talk. Let's see. Yes, let God lead you in your fashion purpose. Amen. Amen. Plies need to get a DNA test because he is definitely, girl, they close to the same age. I don't know how that's gonna happen. But Plies maybe in this, I don't know how old Plies is. I agree with Plies. I'm not surprised by anything these hateful people do to anyone. That's why I do not associate with Trumpers. It tells me what I need to know about. Exactly. It does. I agree with that as well. I think that we all too need to understand the thing is, the very fact that they can't agree to disagree is what drives me crazy. You have to agree with them or else. I have a friend on Facebook who is this color, right? He's pretty dark. He's pretty dark, but he's a pastor. The only comments on my post if I mention something about the president or about Trump or about something that the Republicans have done. That's the only time he comments. Yesterday, I posted a picture on my Facebook of the assassin. And under the assassin, I said, how did we get blamed for this? And he says, who is we? I said, don't be obtuse. You know exactly who we are. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And he goes, no, I don't. That's why I'm asking. I said, well, go figure it out. I refuse to answer his questions because it's always a going back and forth, because he's going to somewhere along the way try to make it okay that they did it. Child, people are crazy. And then a few of us that go out there and join the masses think that the rest of us are crazy for not agreeing with them. Child, you better move around. You said Hyundai canceled the plant in Georgia after exactly. After they came through there and ICE took out those people, they was like, forget it. We're going to close this bad boy down. We ain't going to worry about this no more. Let's move right along because I don't want to keep you guys too long. Let's talk about what I saw that happened in Detroit. School crossing guard caught in car with 13-year-old girl. This is a shout out to Click on Detroit. I believe this is the news station channel Local 4. School crossing guard caught in car with 13-year-old girl he was dating in Monroe, police say. Ida Public Schools terminate employee's position after learning of investigation. This is the gentleman, Timothy Allen, what is his last name? Worthen II, was arrested and booked into the Monroe County Jail on third-degree criminal sexual conduct charges. Monroe, Michigan. A 23-year-old man is facing serious charges after admitting to police that he had an sexual encounter with a 13-year-old girl on August the 30th, 2025 at 9:42 p.m. Monroe police received a report of a possible intimate encounter between an older man and a young girl inside of a car parked near the MLK Jr. pedestrian bridge. And we do know that anything that says MLK is more than likely where in our neighborhoods. A detective responded and found 23-year-old Timothy Allen Worthen II and the minor at the scene. During the investigation, police said Worthen admitted to having an sexual relationship with the girl, claiming that they were dating. Worthen also told police that he works part-time as a crossing guard for Ida Public Schools. Ida Public Schools was immediately notified of the investigation. In a statement, the district superintendent confirmed that Worthen's employment was terminated upon learning of the situation before the start of the 2026 school year. So I guess school had not started when this happened. It says law enforcement is conducting a thorough investigation and the district is cooperating. I guess this is the letter from the superintendent, and it is with the authorities. Since the allegations do not appear to involve Ida Public Schools, and since law enforcement is handling the investigation, we will direct all questions to the Monroe City Police Department. Ida Public Schools takes any allegations of misconduct seriously. The district has high expectations for our teachers and staff, including those that have limited access to students or only work a small number of hours each week. District policies describe our code of conduct and expected behaviors, and they apply to both part-time and full-time employees. These expectations establish a safe and positive environment where students are positioned for growth and achievement, be it academically, athletically, or in the arts. And the rest of this is just all yada, 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 if you know what I mean. I thought that this is another opportunity for us to talk about. We have to let our children know, be aware, be aware, be aware. I had something happen to my youngest daughter when she was about that age, and it came from her being on the internet while I was asleep. We had at that time a desktop, and she would be at night be on the internet, and I'll be in the bed sleep thinking she's in her bed sleep. And she was chit-chatting with a grown man on the internet. And guess what this mama did? 911. I need you to do this. We pulled phone records. But we did more investigation than the police. We pulled phone records. I back searched his phone number because I had the information to do so in the computer. I back searched it, which gave me a name and an address, an age, and a date of birth. And I gave all that information to the police. He's on the run right now because there is a warrant for his arrest in this county. I haven't heard. The detective hasn't called me back, but he told me I issued a warrant for his arrest. Just craziness. Just ignorant. 13 years old. A baby, right? A child who doesn't know, even though he's not that old himself. But we talk about a baby. You should be playing with people that are your age, not a 13-year-old. That stuff, we not letting it fly no more. That happened in my grandmama days. That's not going to fly in 2025. Let's talk about the nurse, Joyce Grayson. And I said when I started this that it kind of hit home with me because Joyce Grayson is a home health nurse. So let's talk about this. This is coming from nurse.org is where I received this actual setup from. I'm going to read it to you. Man gets 50 years in prison for smothering visiting nurse in halfway house. Convicted ex-offender Michael Carlos Reese has been sentenced to half a century in prison for the murder of visiting nurse Joyce Grayson, 63, during a scheduled check at a Connecticut halfway house. Reese, 40 years old, pled guilty to murder on Friday, August the 8th. He admitted to unaliving Grayson on October the 28th, 2023, at the Willimantic home. That's a weird name. Willimantic home where he was living under electronic monitoring while on probation for stabbing and actually assaulting another woman in 2006. The prison sentence, which mandates no early release or parole, was part of the plea deal. The 50-year sentence was handed down in Windham Superior Court, the state attorney's office announced. Reese did not speak during the hearing at Danielson Superior Court. His lawyer spoke on his behalf, saying he apologizes to the Grayson family and is ashamed of what he did. Remembering Joyce Grayson. Friends and families filled the courtroom to honor Grayson, who spent decades as a nurse and fostered more than 35 children She was named Foster Parent of the Year in 2017. Her relatives gave emotional victim impact statements telling the court the loss of such a beloved family member was devastating and that her community lost someone deeply committed to helping others. What the family wants the world to know is that Joyce was a saint, said attorney Kelly Reardon, who represents the Grayson family. The family wants the community to remember Joyce and her family and her Joyce and her name, and not the defendant. Her daughters spoke on their mother's lifelong dedication to caring for others, noting she was killed while doing the work she loved. One of Grayson's daughters told the court her mother taught her to help people, no matter how hard it might be. Reardon also said in the statement that no matter how long Reese's prison sentence is, the family would never be able to truly heal. Grayson's family and friends noted she did not pass away in vain, though. Her legacy lives on through safety reforms passed after her death and give home health workers the right to request a chaperone for visits and to access information about whether a client may pose a potential danger. Elroy Caring, Grayson's employer, issued a statement following Reese's sentence. We continue to grieve Joyce's loss and are grateful the justice system has delivered accountability through this conviction and sentencing. There was a bipartisan effort to safeguard the well-being of home health workers. The state of Connecticut has allocated $6 million left over from the COVID-19 American Rescue Plan funds. This grant aims to implement robust safety measures for those providing crucial care services in private residences. The impetus behind this initiative stems from the murder of Joyce Grayson, a home health worker. In 2023, Grayson was murdered by Michael Reese during a home health visit at a halfway house. Reese was on probation after being convicted of actually assaulting and stabbing a previous victim. He served 14 years in prison. A senseless unaliving while on duty highlighted the vulnerabilities faced by professionals in this field. We are making this investment because of the tragic unaliving of Joyce Grayson, said Lieutenant Governor Susan, I'm not going to even try her last name, at the news conference. The $6 million grant will fund a multifaceted approach to enhance the security of home health workers. Key components include emergency training, equip workers with the knowledge of skills to respond effectively in high-risk situations, panic buttons, provide personal safety devices that allow workers to summon immediate assistance when faced with potential threats, dedicated emergency hotline, establish a direct line of communication for workers to report incidents and seek support. Buddy escort system implements a system where workers can request accompaniments, someone to go with them during visits to potentially hazardous locations. We call those buddy visits. GPS tracking, utilizing location tracking technology to monitor the movements of workers and enable rapid response in emergencies. Robust pre-visit risk assessments, conduct comprehensive evaluations to identify potential risks associated with each client's residence and environment. And I will tell you this, just being a person who this is the symmetry. This is the environment in which I work. That this is one of my fears. It is definitely one of my fears. Hold on one second. Being one of those people that goes out into someone's home, you never know what you're going to encounter when you get into the home. You just have to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. Careful. I don't know if I'm saying that right or wrong. I know that in the CPSs, their case managers have in the bottom of their phone, they have a little tab they put in it, and they have to go into this app and tell them where they're at, and they click it to them. If it disconnects at any time, it automatically summons that they need help, and 911 is called, and it gives them a direct GPS location of where they are. This lady who was murdered actually went out to see this patient. He had an ankle monitor. He was known to be violent. Because of course what he had done previously. And I think that more needs to be done. We need to put some laws in place that home health companies do not have to admit patients who are at risk, who are high risk, who are volatile, who may injure a nurse. It's bad enough they could come into a hospital and injure you, but when you're at their home, you're pretty much at their, you're just vulnerable. You're just vulnerable. So hopefully they will come to terms with the better ways of dealing with this so that we can all feel safe when we go out to see patients. It's not just me that goes out and see patients. I work in an office full of other healthcare professionals who go out and see patients. And we're one of many in this country who go out and see patients. But she said, I know that's right, Mama Bear. Exactly, Kashara, baby. I'm telling you, I did better investigation than the police. When I called the police, I knew his name, like I said, his phone number, his address, his date of birth, where he lived. I knew all this stuff. I had already been in his apartment, baby. I had already scoped it out. And baby, guess what? My son, the oldest at the house, he was scoping it out with me. We all scoping it out. Husband too, we scoping it out. Then I said, y'all, let's do the right thing. Let's call the police. Because my son, I'll get my boys. Ain't no boys. We're going to call the police and we're going to let them handle it. And they did. When the police said when they got there, his apartment was clean. And the apartment complex said that he moved out, didn't even tell him he was moving. But they had where he came from, his previous address. So the police said they were going to follow up with that. So, Chad, when I tell you, he took out running. Good morning, Symmetry. He took off running. But yes, in the vein of nursing, the one thing that I want us always to remember is healthcare is not easy. Being in healthcare is not easy. And to know that someone lost their life just by being a part of healthcare. I said last week in our Saturday morning scoop, the nurses are the first line of fire. Like, people get mad, they come after the nurse. They don't go after anybody else. They go because that's the first person they see. So just to know this lady lost her life only trying to help someone, because that's all she was doing, was just being there trying to help someone. Let's talk about, this is the last topic I have of the day, and this is the assassin of Charlie Kirk. And we're going to talk about it. Does this talk about it? Yeah. Okay. Let's go here. Let's do this one first, and then we'll go there. After a 2-day manhunt, this is coming from the Department of Public Affairs, U.S. Department of Justice. After a 2-day manhunt, suspect charged with shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses. This is about our other guys, our other members of the House who were murdered in June or earlier this year. I think it happened in June. Don't want to misspeak. But this article is actually about them. After a 2-day manhunt, suspect charged with shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses. And it goes through and says that Vance Voltaire, 57, of Green Isle, Minnesota, has been charged by federal complaint with stalking and murdering Minnesota House of Representatives Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband, in addition to stalking and shooting Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. According to court documents, in the early morning hours of June 14, 2025, Vance Luther Voltaire put in effect a calculated plan to inflict fear and violence upon Minnesota elected officials and their family. Bolter equipped himself with firearms and body armor, disguised himself as a law enforcement officer, and drove to the home of Senator Hoffman. Bolter knocked on the door repeatedly. I know I'm messing up his name, but I'm going to keep calling him Bolter. Well, let's just call him Bolter, or let's call him Mr. B. They ain't got to mess up his name no more. Claimed to be a police officer. Shortly after the Hoffmans opened the door, they were alarmed to realize Mr. B was wearing a face mask. The Hoffman tried to close the door on B, but B repeatedly shot both Senator and Ms. Hoffman. The horrific targeted murders of Minnesota House Senator Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark Hartman, as well as the shooting of Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, Yvette Hoffman, have shocked the nation and united us in grief, said Attorney General Pamela Bondi. These horrific acts of violence will not go unanswered. The Department of Justice will prosecute the suspect to the fullest extent of the law, and if convicted, deliver severe consequences for his alleged crimes. According to the charges, the defendant had a list of people, targets, and went to the homes of public officials to conduct violent attacks. The FBI Director Kash Patel. This type of violence is unacceptable, and the FBI stands united with our law enforcement partners to find and hold accountable anyone who commits such despicable acts. I command all the law enforcement officers who work throughout the weekend to find the defendant and take him into custody. Lance Luthor B. went on a violent rampage, against our elected officials, said Acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson for the District of Minnesota. These are targeted political assassinations, the likes of which have never been seen in Minnesota. It was an attack on our state and on our democracy. We will not rest until he is brought to justice. And it just goes on and talks about what they found, the SUV, the weapons, all of that, right? So we have all of that. And then on yesterday, we have this. I want you guys to pay attention. Now, we just went back and we talked about the Minnesota lawmakers who were murdered, right? It was a House of Representative member, and then it was a senator, both murdered. So we have 4 people that were assaulted that were Democrats. Pay attention. They were lawmakers. House of Representative, senator, lawmakers. They all sit in the House, upper seat, lower seat, lower house, upper house. That's how it works. Congress, and then you have senators, right? We have someone who was not either of the two. Well, let's look and see what they had to say about him. This is coming from Court TV. Shout out to Court TV. Let me know if you can hear this.
At today's press conference, we hear from Governor Cox, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bill Mason, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement members. All of you are remarks today, and our Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you what gets me about this. Remember what I just said. We have 2 lawmakers, the Hoffmans and the Hortons, I believe is how you pronounce their names. So you have those 2. These are lawmakers, 4 people, 2 different areas of the House, upper and lower. But you have two lawmakers. This man was not a lawmaker, but these people are about to lose their wig. You see this man bald head. I'm sure all this happened because of this. They are more upset about someone who was not a lawmaker and a Republican. And I understand the outrage because he was murdered for his beliefs, but we did not do the same thing for the other two who were murdered by one of them. But let's listen.
On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who has worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process.
I hope y'all don't mind, but I'm going to move it a little further because I want you all to hear. Hopefully it'll move. It may not move for me. This guy, he gets back up to talk again, and he says something I found was really strange. It's just Kash Patel, the little guy, this guy here. I want y'all to hear what he says. And then I'm going to, we're going to wrap him up. And I got one more story I want to talk about. And then we're going to get up out of here and go enjoy our Saturday. Here we go. Let's see if it'll play from here.
Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here and maybe a little bit of where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country, and violence is tragic everywhere. And every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. This is certainly about the tragic death, political assassination of Charlie Kirk. But it is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times. Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the very act that Charlie championed of expression, that freedom of expression that is enshrined in our founding documents, in having his life taken in that very act, makes it more difficult for people to feel like they can share their ideas, that they can speak freely. We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely and securely. Especially those ideas with which you disagree. That's why this matters so much. Over the last 48 hours, I have been as angry as I have ever been, as sad as I have ever been. And it was, as anger pushed me to the brink, it was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back. I'd like to share some of those, and specifically,
I don't want to hear Charlie's words. Your words are enough. The very fact that this man got on this stage and said, I was hoping it was not one of us. Did anybody else hear that? Let me let Queen Script come up here. Hey, Queen. Let me get rid of this thing.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I love your Saturday mornings. As far as that man, I won't say his name. He has disrespected us as a people, our leaders, our black women. Michelle Obama, Justice Ketanji Brown not being qualified, and a few others, Sheila Jackson Lee not being qualified, DEI hires. He said so many disrespectful things. See, there's a thing about not agreeing with policies and lifestyles, and then there's blatant hate, right?
Right.
These people, Stephen Miller, if you don't know, we all know he's running everything because Trump is about to go, right? He's about to he's about to deflate. So he has a man, Stephen Miller, whose wife left him for Elon Musk. He's a cuckold running the government. He's already a Project 2025 pro in a, Yahtzee.
Right.
So he's running the government. So my thing is this: they're going to keep showing him on the news about this man, right? That's why I don't watch traditional media anymore. You understand? There was nothing decent or good. He's a modern day bull, whatever his name is, from Alabama. Okay. This man was mediocre at best. Charismatic, a swindler, a hustler. That's who I would describe him as. What did he hustle? God. He hustled. He played. So you can't play with God like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't play with him like that, because while he thought he was controlling things, there's that other one who likes to run the show, the devil. He does his job too. Okay. So while they out here causing fractures, there's a website called Charlie's Murderers, plural, even though we know there's one, that is listing people who have said negative things about him and doxing them. There's a whole website. It's out now. It's, if you look it up, Charlie's Murderers, y'all. I looked it up and they have people's names, email addresses, jobs. It is scary, right? But here's the thing. I'm not afraid. And I just hope everybody is not afraid, because there's more of us than them. And that is the reality. And I don't care what race you are. 90% of people do not want this. No one wants this kind of drama, fear. I am not an immigrant. That was not my issue. But I understood what it meant to them. You understand? And that's why I don't deal with Trumpers, because everyone I know that dogged that man Biden out and called Kamala everything but a child of God, when she was just doing her job as a DA and actually trying to help people. If you did the research, every one of them have lost jobs and money. Every single one. And maybe they continue to, because they know better. They know, black people in this country, if you were raised here, I don't care where you from, you know better. And you get what you give. He gave hate. He got hate. That family that raised that boy, holding a Bible in one hand, a gun in the other, they got what they taught him. You teach your children that's what they do. Period.
That's it.
There's no mercy for me. There's no empathy. It's not my problem. That is their problem. They're going to turn on each other so bad. They're going to have their own little personal simple thing going on.
That's it.
The rest of us going to be sipping our coffee, watching everything burn down, planting our food so we can have food for our children in our pots in our backyards. If we don't have a backyard, get some pots, start planting potatoes and onions, y'all.
That's it.
We don't have to go crazy, because see, we're going to make it. We're going to be all right. They're the ones who are fried out, because black women are the most educated. That is why Trump is going after us, because we are the only ones who are not afraid of him. And he knows everybody he's always going after black women. And every time he does, something bad happens on that side. He is tearing this country down.
Every single time, Queen Script. The next part is that this is what they developed. This is what they want. Right? They put their resources into. I was talking to one of my friends on yesterday while I was out shopping, and they called and we were just chit-chatting. And the one thing they said that really resonated with me was the very fact of that they support their own, right? Those kids, although their father's gone, their college education is probably well taken care of, even if he was not a millionaire prior to, because they'll pour money into each other. Even though they've done the most heinous,
they sure do.
They will pour money into each other. And I am I don't know. America, to me, like I told you, seemed like we live in a twilight zone because
a capitalistic twilight zone.
It baffles my mind that we are applauding some of the stuff that we applaud. This man clearly was giving us hateful rhetoric, but we're out here, yay, yes.
That's who they are. Those people are that way. That's what I that's the part I don't understand, actually, Lady Rowe. Why are we surprised?
Right.
There's no surprise. What surprises me is the amount of people that look like me that were for him. That baffles me, and that scares me. That's the only thing that scares me. Not the Latino or Hispanic vote or whatever. I already know about that. I know how that was going to go. That's how they get. But our people,
baby,
we are in trouble. Forget them. This is what needed to happen to us. I'm talking about us alone. So these fools who were on the Trump, oh, Trump going to get these immigrants out. Oh, Trump going to make the tariffs right. Oh, Trump, that man dumb as a box of nails. He's dumb. That's why he hates intelligence and science, and he hates successful Black women, because this is his show and he should have had it. And how dare they have anything? He did that to the federal government because they employ the most Black people.
That's it.
And we have a lot of contracts with them, and he's taking those contracts and giving it to who he wants. But he's going to have his time. Because let me tell you,
most definitely,
they think it's going to be the left to take him down. The call coming from inside the house. It's going to be your own people.
Preach.
They lives in there. You said the other day, you think Arkansas. Look what they did.
Yes.
Look what they did. And he's not going to bail him out this time. He's not.
Bad girl Riri just said in the book of Proverbs, the 18th chapter, 21st verse, I pulled it up. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. That means if you love this lying tongue, you're gonna eat the fruit of that lying tongue.
That's bad fruit.
Yes, that's the scripture. And also she put Proverbs, I think that's 22:6. Let's read that, what it says. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart. But you know what? The Bible also says a child left alone will make you ashamed. The Bible says that. It also says foolishness, the book of Proverbs, foolishness is bound in the heart of the child, but the rod of correction, my mama called it a switch. Somebody's mama called it a belt. It will drive.
Go get the switch.
That is the word of God. I don't care what nobody says. The Bible is right. Somebody is wrong.
Amen.
Somebody is wrong.
That's what angers me. They use the Bible and Jesus, and that's the part. And it's so funny that it happened in Utah and they were Mormon. Not funny, but ironic.
It was awkward. How ironic did that happen? Did this happen in Utah? All the states in the United States. Utah.
That's about the whitest state besides Idaho, I think.
Maybe. But you made it up. You shutting down our HBCUs. Anybody else want to join? I did drop a link for the StreamYard if you want to join.
They said that it was us that did it. I said, well, we know one thing, they wasn't Black, because they would have stuck it.
Definitely. I'm gonna tell you something. This young man, they said he shot 200 yards away. He was a marksman.
That's somebody that's been holding the gun since he was 2 years old.
200 miles away and 200 yards away. I'm sorry, 200
they
yards.
Said it was more.
And that's a marksman.
Did you see that? That was a perfect shot. Like
it was. He said he had a specialized scope. Now this is what I skipped through most of what the guy was saying because I didn't want to.
I don't want to crap and talk crap.
He had a specialized scope on the gun, on the weapon. He had of course engraved the pow the things that were in the projectile. He had engraved those, and I knew when they said that the engraving said "You are gay, LMAO." I was like, that's a teenager. That's a child.
That's a young, right? Yeah.
The kid.
See, they getting the young people riled up. He thought he was going to get them riled up on his side. Mm-hmm. But what's happening is that these people who are indoctrinating their kids with this stuff, some of these kids are like, nah, I think you're wrong on that. And that's what happened with him. And he wants to make his, whatever reason, something is obviously wrong with this child. But the point is, the grandmother's like, I don't understand. We're Trumpers. She embarrassed them because she cleaned it up right quick and let them know we are not liberals. Thank you. You know, so they're gonna have to fight with each other. I told somebody one time, I said, you know, every group in this country has had to fight these types of people. It's your turn now. It's your turn. We're gonna sit this one out. It's the immigrants and the Latinos and the white folks and the black people who voted him in. These are the ones that have to fight, because I already fought.
Right.
I know him. I know
And
the
here's-
evil people
here's what you
lived
have to
around
do.
him.
You have to tell your kids, tell your neighbors, stay at home. Don't join in the fights. Don't go to these vigils. They had a vigil, and I actually had put it on my thing, but somehow or another I did. Last night I stayed up and tried to add all the markers on my computer so I would already have it set, and then still miss some of the things I wanted to talk about. But there was a vigil in one of these cities. I don't remember the city name, so forgive me, but there was a fight. In the middle of the fight was a black man. Why are you there? Not even a boy. Looked like he may have been in his early 20s. But why are you there? You don't have to fight. Go home. Go home to your family. This is not our fight. Stay at home. Sit this
I
one
saw
out.
that, and I didn't understand. You're trying to fight with people who are committed to not being on the right side of this. They're committed to it. I do not argue with anyone whenever someone says, what about Biden? I'm like, we can stop talking right now.
Exactly.
I'll see you later. I don't do it. I refuse.
Or they say, what about Obama? What about it?
And see, if you notice, right, Lady Ro, have you noticed how they used to say all the time when Biden was in office, and they've been trying it a little bit, but it's not working as much?
Mm-hmm.
And now they said the other lady said he was a trans. They're going back after the trans people again. They do the same thing. You can't be that stupid to believe these people.
Here's the crazy part. They actually, before they had found the assassin, they had put out that, just like you said, he was trans.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that they put out was incorrect information.
Purposely.
They put out that he had been found. What happened? And I put on my thing last night on Facebook, what happened to this? Where did this?
Cash Patel is so confused.
Yeah, and
he looked like he high half the time off of coke or something. I don't care what nobody said. That man looked geeked up all the time.
But you know what? He was so happy that they found somebody. They had arrested somebody. He's like, you see,
like the father turned him in. The father and the preacher turned him in. That's the sad part. You didn't apprehend anyone. He surrendered. He surrendered. His father surrendered him. Y'all didn't do your job, because guess what? All the DEI hires are gone. All the skills are out. Now we're left with the real America. We're left with the real America that they're fighting for, which is subpar.
Is that we're gonna have to put the cost of it. Y'all hit the link if y'all want to come forward. This StreamYard. Here's the what gets me is that we're gonna have to foot the bill for this murder. They brought him back to Illinois on Air Force Two. Who pays for the fuel in Air Force Two? The citizens. Who paid for the security detail that goes with Air Force Two? Americans. Who pays for the pilot? The American citizens. Did anybody think about that? They brought him home. Who's paying for all of this stuff? The American citizens. J.D. Vance went with this man. Who pays for his security detail? The American citizens. We're having to pay for this. We are, as humans.
Do you see the price of everything in the stores now?
Oh yeah.
I went to buy a paintbrush from Family Dollar, I think it was. These are like $2.99. It was $6.10.
What?
I said, these people have lost their minds.
Right. I'm gonna tell you this. I went to the grocery store last week, and I was just gonna pick up a few things, right? You know how that goes. And $70 later, I think I went to get an onion. I went to get the smallest of things I ended up getting, but I only had 3 bags. $70, 3 bags, literally. So we really are paying. Symmetry said all these media outlets are having to go back and retract their exactly, because they actually said a lot of stuff. Queen Script done walked on off the stage. Yes. I've been in the bushes listening, y'all. That kid. Exactly. It's pitiful. The wife will be out on the campaign trail all next year. Mark my words. She already has started. Yes, please subscribe. She's already started. She actually said that if y'all remove the move, stop the movement, that is not going to happen, because she is going to keep the movement. It is going full force. And somebody said, well, we were hoping that the hate had smiled with him. And somebody said, oh, she means the love of Christ and Christianity. That's not what her thing said. The love of Christ and Christianity. That's not what she just said in the statement. Before I go, I want to mention one other thing before we go. I want y'all to, is this a video? Is it? Yeah, yes, it's no, that's not the video. We may have to find it on TikTok. But there was a young lady by the name of Romika Meeks who was dropping off her son at school, whose baby daddy's current baby mama, or the latest baby mama. Okay. She powder her and murdered her in the streets in front of her child's school. And I just want us to let's just watch it for a minute. It's to me, it's heartbreaking. But I want to talk about it, and I pretty much have forgotten, but it was on my little paper, and I want us to really see what happened.
Excuse the language.
To a red ass bitch. What her friend? You want to say this week? Yes, she did. She a slut. She a slut, and my friends. I got her. She said, record me. And if anyone don't want to lie, call me for them hoes. For you, Kaya.
That's not what I'm looking for. This is it. Let's just go to the news article. Because, yeah, let's look at this one. Mother of woman shot, killed in South Loop fight wants justice. Yeah, I love me some Marshawn Lynch. Every time I see a video of him, I just stop and look at him. I think he is hilarious. The mother of a woman who was shot and unalive during a fight in the South Loop on Monday wants justice for her daughter. The family of 31-year-old Romika Meeks Blackman attended a vigil for her on Friday in West Inglewood. Surrounded by family and overwhelmed with grief, her mother, Tina McMiller, said she's heartbroken after losing her daughter to gun violence. The love she's shown everybody, y'all showed it back, she said. Hurt, sadness, and broken hearts were expressed on the memorial board posted at the vigil outside of Inglewood STEM High School. We are here to support an amazing baby, said Meeks Blackman's cousin, Ciadra Bays. Earlier in the day, McMillan called for an end to gun violence and for the state to enforce the Illinois Health Reform Act from 2021, which includes, oh my Lord, what happened to it? See, this is the only reason why I hate these things. I was trying to find on TikTok because I knew something would pop up and take it away, and it did. Anywho, stop sharing that. The young lady lost her life to the baby mama. The baby mama screaming, I'm licensed to carry, but licensed to carry does not mean licensed to take someone's life. And she took this young lady's life. I hope she never sees the light of day. The stories that were told about Romika, how that she actually was dropping her son off at school and how she would leave little notes in his backpack. Lunch bag. And in his lunch bag that day was a note from his mom telling him that she loved him and that he could do anything that the son, pretty much just a letter of affirmation for her child, and to think that she lost her life, not to the baby daddy, but to the baby daddy's baby mama. Right. And the silly part was that they found in her Facebook messages that she said that, how long does it take for someone to let go because my baby daddy can't let go? Then there was another post of him coming over trying to snuff her out one day before she could go to work. She had moved, so he couldn't find where she was living because, of course, she couldn't get a peace bond. So he would come to her place of employment in the kid's school because he could not find where she lived. It's such a sad story. I will definitely be looking more into it, and I'll bring it to us later on this week. Tonight, Love and Marriage Huntsville comes on. Please make sure you watch. It comes on 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm not sure what it is in other locations. 9, I think, on the West Coast, and 6 on the East Coast. So you guys make sure y'all tune in to Love Mary Huntsville. These shows have been being very, very good. These last few episodes have been good. I've been reviewing them. Go back and watch my review if you don't mind. Let's see what you said, Queen Scrap. Said that man set her up with the new one. I believe that too. I believe it was a setup, because why was she there? Unless she was following him. You said exactly, shaking my head. I'm not going with my boyfriend when he's dealing. I'm not either. For what? And then I'm even at that, you when I'm sitting in this car, and if I see you choke her out, I'm about to call the law on you, because I'm not gonna be the one sit here and watch you protect other women. I'm protect other women. I'm gonna be that girl. I'm gonna be her while you over there acting a fool. I'm gonna go ahead and call the police, because you shouldn't even brought me over here, and you shouldn't have came over here no way. That's ridiculous. Hello, Sergeant Charge. I'm sorry, I didn't mean not to speak. Symmetry. You said 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it comes on 7 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. But make sure you're watching Love and Marriage Huntsville tonight. I believe tonight's going to be a great episode. I think we're going to get another episode of the Scott's daughter with her dad. I believe they're going to be at if you saw the preview that they had out, they're sitting at getting their feet done. So I believe this is going to be a good episode tonight. And you guys, if no one told you today they love you, I love you. And as Queen said, y'all have a great day. I am going to finish watching my grandbaby. 6:30 tonight, I have a walk. So I may have my headphones on while we're walking, listening to Love and Marriage Huntsville, because I will be walking with these people. I don't know why I agreed to do this. Why did I agree, Lord? Am I crazy? I am. But I will be walking with my coworkers tonight. And I hope y'all like my shirt. I bought this about 3 years ago. It says, all we ever did was be black. Black by popular demand. When I wear this shirt, I get the most compliments. I hadn't worn it in a little while, but I thought I'd throw it on today. Oh, no. We don't want no more babies over here. He said, hi, baby. He's one. And this morning, I normally wake up around 6 o'clock. He went to bed about 10. He slept all night. And so my husband woke up to go to work, and he was like, this boy, he done went from your side to my side. When I tell you he was flopping like a fish all night, he must have been sleeping good, because he was like a little, just going through the bed like this. I'm moving back to one spot, and he eased onto another spot. So my husband got up. He said, you better move. We have a California king, so that means our bed is really big. He said, you better move him over some. So I moved him back over towards me. So around 6 o'clock, I woke up, and I kind of laid in the bed. By 6:20, I went ahead and sat up, and I was like, oh, okay, I might need to get my day started. So as I get ready to put one foot on the floor, I see a little head rising for the occasion, like, hello. Thank you. You said sell it. You know what? I make shirts, so I might be able to make us a couple, and I wouldn't charge you, especially Queen Script, and I'll send you one. But yes, ma'am, when I tell you I love this shirt, all we ever did was be black. I want to tell that to Charlie, the people that's fighting for Charlie Kirk. All we ever did was, we ain't did nothing else. All we did was be black, baby. We ain't did nothing. I swear to God, nothing. We're just trying to live in this world peacefully with you guys. That's it. We just want to just share some of this earth. But I'm going to tell you, in the words of Louis Farrakhan, even though they banned him from this here internet and all other ones, said, now, long as they can smurder us and go to Wendy's, they gonna keep smurdering us. But when they smurdered and we smurdered, then we're gonna sit down at the table. We're gonna talk about how we all want some of this earth too. Let's just share this earth. You don't even come to that. Let's all just share this earth. That's all. It's that plain, that simple. It's that plain, that simple. She said, we have a California king all over. When I tell you, this little boy last night went from my side to my husband's side, from my side to my, and I feel him moving his feet at my shoulder, and I turn him around, put his head back at the head of the bed and straighten him up. And child, I think he back asleep. I mean, I think I got him straight, and I look over, he's all in my husband's back, and I know my poor man had to get him go to work this morning. That baby done them feet kicking that back. Oh my God. He started sleeping like this. I said, my daughter said he started. Wow, he doesn't spend a lot of nights with us. This is probably his third time spending the night with us since he's been born in a year. And I have to almost beg to let me have him. Last time I was like, I ain't asking you no more. So yesterday I was like, I'm going to pick him up from daycare and I want him to spend the night. And she said, okay, I'll pack his bag. So an argument yesterday. I guess she realized he's getting older and and you need help. Single mothers, you need help. Quit trying to be all bad and bougie by yourself. All right, you guys. I love you guys. Y'all have a great Saturday. Bye-bye. You loving the scene with it? Me too, butterfly. I cannot wait to see that. That's why I wish I had agreed to this walk. When she said 6:30, I thought it was 6:30 this morning. And then she texts me and goes, oh, it's 6:30 p.m. What? Who walked in the evening? Let me walk at the beginning of the morning, get my day going. And that's how, because even when I exercise, I go walk at 5. By the time I get through walking, I'm ready to start my day. The air is fresher and let's do it. But girl, 6:30, I'm gonna be dragging. I hope I make it. I hope I make the whole walk. How many times we're gonna walk this park, whatever we're doing. I hope I make it. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.